The whispers, the speculation, and the endless fan theories can finally be put to rest. In a jaw-dropping live television moment, Outlander star Sam Heughan shocked fans worldwide by officially confirming he's in a relationship with Hollywood's own Dakota Johnson. The announcement not only sent social media into a frenzy, but it's also left fans wondering how this unexpected romance began and what it means for both of their high-profile careers. The reveal unfolded when the host asked Sam about his recent appearances at several Los Angeles events where he was spotted with Dakota. Smiling, he responded, "Yes, Dakota and I are together. She's an incredible woman, and I'm very happy." Those few words sent social media into overdrive within minutes, with hashtags like #SamHeughan and #DakotaJohnson trending worldwide. For weeks, paparazzi had captured the pair at private dinners, charity events, and even a quiet beach walk in Malibu. While neither had addressed the rumors, fans were quick to connect the dots, noting their subtle matching outfits and easy chemistry in public. Industry insiders say the relationship began after the two met at a film festival earlier this year. Both known for their intense privacy when it comes to personal lives, it's surprising that Sam chose to make the announcement on live television rather than through a statement or social media. Reactions have been mixed among fans. Many have flooded Twitter and Instagram with heartfelt congratulations, saying they're thrilled to see Sam happy. Others, particularly longtime Outlander viewers who have shipped him with co-star Catriona Balfe, admit they were caught off guard by the news. Dakota Johnson, known for her roles in 50 Shades of Grey and Persuasion, has yet to make her own public statement, though sources close to her say she's equally smitten and supportive of Sam's decision to go public. As the entertainment world buzzes, one thing is clear. This new Hollywood pairing has already become one of the most talked about romances of the year. Fans will be watching closely to see how the couple navigates their first public appearances together now that the secret is out.
The cast of Outlander shared some of their most memorable moments from the series at San Diego Comic-Con, and Sam Heughan's answer has me both giddy and terrified for Season 8 Screen Rant was present for the SDCC Outlander panel, which, given the impending end to the Starz TV show, might well have been the last that this cast will attend. Naturally, this made it all the more bittersweet. Among the Outlander stars at SDCC were Richard Rankin, Sophie Skelton, and Heughan, all of whom talked about their experiences and memories working on the Romantasy series. Additionally, we got our first trailer for Outlander Season 8, which provided some fresh teasers for this final installment. The trailer for Outlander Season 8 is taken up largely by scenes from past episodes, emphasizing the fact that the series will bring things full circle. Then in the teaser's final moments, we see the big reveal that Jamie's death had been recorded in Frank Randall's book, which Brianna brought from the future. It's an intriguing tease, and combined with a comment from Heughan, a bit of a frightening one. Sam Heughan teases that Jamie will be even more vulnerable in Outlander Season 8 at the SDCC's Outlander panel. Heughan stated that he found Jamie's vulnerability throughout the series to be one of the most memorable aspects of creating Outlander. He further explained that this is especially true for Season 8, indicating that Jamie will be even more vulnerable in this upcoming final installment than in past episodes. Jamie's most vulnerable moments in Outlander have been deeply memorable for audiences as well, so the promise that there will be more of this in Season 8 is certainly encouraging. It should mean some powerful performances from Heughan, which is precisely what we want for the show's big ending. Of course, with what we know about the upcoming episodes, there should be plenty of opportunity. Some of Heughan's best performances in Outlander have come from Jamie's vulnerability in the finale of Season 7. Claire had come to believe that her daughter Faith had somehow survived the infant's stillbirth was a deeply tragic experience for Jamie and Claire, so revisiting this in Season 8 is sure to result in some emotional and vulnerable moments. Then there is the trailer's tease of Jamie's impending death, which is guaranteed to set the inhabitants at Fraser's Ridge on edge. All of this combined with Heughan's vulnerable tease indicates that the upcoming installment of Outlander will be stuffed Full of emotionally weighty moments, this is an exciting prospect for Outlander fans. However, when considering some of Jaime's most vulnerable moments in past seasons, it's also a bit frightening. Jaime has had several extremely vulnerable moments already in Outlander. Some of Heughan's best performances in Outlander have come from Jaime's vulnerability. Naturally, our minds go immediately to the character's past experiences with Black Jack Randall. However, nothing ever makes Jaime as vulnerable as when Claire is in danger. This happens frequently to varying degrees, but Outlander Season 7 is a prime example. When Claire was shot in the aftermath of the Battle of Monmouth in Outlander Season 7, Heughan gave a powerful and entirely raw performance. When Claire was shot in the aftermath of the Battle of Monmouth in Outlander Season 7, Heughan gave a powerful and entirely raw performance. Jaime wasn't just frightened and desperate, but full of rage regarding the circumstances that led to Claire's injury. Covered in blood and screaming, Jaime begged that his wife be spared. It was hard to watch, but I couldn't pull my eyes away from Heughan, even with all the personal pain that Jaime has suffered in Outlander. Claire's brush with death was easily his most vulnerable moment in the series. Still, Heughan's comment about Season 8 implies that the coming installment will top everything that came before, ultimately setting up a completely devastating series conclusion. Outlander Season 8 is all set up to be completely devastating. To an extent, we know what to expect with Outlander Season 8, since the teased Jaime story is a feature of Gabaldon's books in Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone. Jaime and Claire get similar news when Brianna brings Frank's book to the past. There's every indication that Jaime Fraser will die at the Battle of King's Mountain, just as Frank wrote. I won't spoil how this book's story's ending, but it's certainly emotional for Jaime and Claire. However, this plotline isn't the finale of Gabaldon's book series. In fact, the novels have yet to come to a close, since the 10th and final Outlander book won't release until long after Season 8 wraps up Star's series. Naturally, things will have to go differently on screen than in the TV show. The fact that Outlander has no choice but to take the story in a different direction than the books means that all bets are off for this final installment. For the first time, book fans don't know how the story will end. All we can surely expect is a high tension, high excitement, and likely a completely emotionally devastating story in Outlander Season 8. Said and done, audiences are sure to be just as vulnerable as Jaime. Sam Heughan undergoes a physical transformation for first post-Outlander gig. Sam Heughan is making headlines with his dramatic transformation and a daring new career move. Fresh off filming the final season of Outlander, the Scottish actor has traded in Jaime Fraser's signature flowing red locks for a much shorter cut as he prepares to take on one of Shakespeare's most iconic roles. Sam Heughan opens up about returning to the stage with a shocking new look. After more than a decade portraying Outlander's dashing Jaime Fraser, Sam Heughan is ready for a new challenge and a new look to match. In a recent interview with Deadline, Heughan revealed he will star as Macbeth in an upcoming Royal Shakespeare Company production, marking his first return to the stage in 12 years. To embody the murderous Scottish king, Heughan has cropped his famous hair, a move that surprised even his most devoted fans. It's exciting to be treading the boards again, Heughan told the outlet. I've been doing Outlander for 11 years and obviously it was brilliant, but I wanted something else. Heughan added that seeing Edward II performed at the RSC reignited his passion for the stage. I sat in the auditorium and I felt that excitement, sort of the churn in my stomach as the lights went down, and I was like, yeah, this is the drug I'm looking for. And it's terrifying, and I think that's a good thing, to be scared again. Macbeth, directed by Daniel Raggett, will run at the Other Place studio venue in Stratford-upon-Avon from October 9th through December 6th. Joining Heughan on stage will be acclaimed actress Leah Williams, who will play Lady Macbeth. Williams is known for her roles as Wallace Simpson in The Crown and Isabel Kirby in Peacock's The Day of the Jackal. The Outlander star's Instagram reveals sparks major fan buzz. The transformation didn't stay secret for long. On June 3rd, Heughan, 45, took to Instagram to share his excitement about the role and his shorter new hairstyle at age 18, standing on the main stage of the Royal Lyceum, Edinburgh, playing Spear Carrier No. 2 in a production of Macbeth. I could only dream of one day playing the infamous title character, he wrote, reflecting on his career shift. Heughan added, it feels full circle to be returning to the stage after over a decade working primarily in television and film. Not only is Macbeth my favorite Shakespeare play, intense, immediate, and unsettling, it also happens to be famously Scottish. He called his debut with the Royal Shakespeare Company the pinnacle of my ambition and expressed gratitude for the opportunity. The other place is the perfect space to create an intense, intimate production, and like Lady M, we will be calling upon the spirits of the RSC's highly acclaimed past productions for their blessing. See you in Stratford-upon-Avon, he concluded. Fans quickly filled the comments with excitement. One wrote, "I hope to see my dream come true and be in a privileged audience. Thank you, Sam. It's going to be a real treat to see you on stage." Another added, "It's super exciting seeing you back to your theatrical roots and shining in your stage element. Everything to remember about Outlander before Blood of My Blood. Now that Starz has blessed Outlander fans with the first teaser trailer for the historical fantasy drama's final season, it's time to enjoy the parallel love stories at the heart of the upcoming prequel series Outlander. Blood of My Blood, set in the Scottish Highlands of the early 1700s as well as World War I. Blood of My Blood chronicles the war-torn romance between Claire Beecham Fraser's parents Julia Morriston and Henry Beecham, and the forbidden yet undeniable passion shared by Jamie Fraser's own parents Ellen Mackenzie and Brian Fraser. Aside from offering audiences everything they could desire from a small-screen extension of author Diana Gabaldon's Outlander saga, like ardent flirtations, beautiful locations, complex politics, and of course time travel courtesy of Cray N.A. Dunn's Standing Stones, Blood of My Blood's revelations append everything Claire herself assumed about her parents. Accidental time travel, it seems, is literally in Claire's DNA, although showrunner Matthew B. Roberts stated that Blood of My Blood is accessible enough for new viewers to begin their Outlander journey with the prequel series. If existing fans need a refresher on Jamie and Claire's respective family trees, here's the main information Outlander has provided about those familiar faces as well as the characters making their debut in Blood of My Blood, who are Clan Mackenzie's main players. In Outlander, Jamie and Claire lost one or both of their parents during their early childhood since Ellen Mackenzie passed away during childbirth when Jamie was 10 years old. Outlander's 7 seasons rely on Jamie's memories and second-hand reports from surviving characters to form a picture of his late mother inheriting a fiery temper that suited her red hair. Ellen's reputation paints her as being kind, generous, and adored by almost everyone she met before marrying Brian. She lived in Castle Leoch with her father Jacob, her 3 sisters, and her 2 brothers. Those siblings include 3 names we know very well from their time on Outlander: Colum, Dougal, and the baby of the family, Jocasta. Another beloved figure, Murtig Fitzgibbons Fraser, has long-standing ties to both sides of the family, having nursed an unrequited crush on Ellen. By the time Claire travels through the Stones to 1743, the older Murtig has been christened as Jamie's godfather, while Jamie's 2 maternal uncles oversee the Mackenzie clan. Colum's strategic mind and devotion to his family make him their ideal lad. Dougal acts as the Mackenzies' war chieftain as Colum's right hand man. Dougal fulfills duties that Colum's chronic illness, Toulouse-Lautrec syndrome, prevents him from accomplishing. Despite Dougal's suspicions about Claire's intentions, the fearsome warrior ensures her safety by arranging her marriage to Jamie. He is also a loyal Jacobite, a controversial fact he withholds from Colum. Over in America, Jocasta, a 3-time widower married to her 4th husband, resides on a North Carolina plantation alongside her husband Hector Moore Cameron and their daughter Morna. The youngest Mackenzie child left Scotland in 1730 to escape the potential wrath of King Louis XV. Hector and Dougal stole gold from Francis King to support Charles Stuart, the future leader of the Jacobite Rising. By the time Jamie reunites with his aunt in Outlander Season 4 with his legendary wife in tow, Jocasta has buried 3 daughters, married Jamie's acquaintance Duncan Innes in a political arrangement, and developed blindness from untreated glaucoma. Yet none of these events erased Jocasta's iron will as an older woman, fully in command of herself and determined to protect her current freedom as well as her legacy. Outlander's clan Fraser has a complicated and painful history. Brian, meanwhile, hails from the beloved Lallybroch estate. Simon Fraser, the head of the Lovat branch of Clan Fraser and thus also known as Lord Lovat, sired Brian out of wedlock with Davina Porter, one of his servants. When he appears in Outlander's 2nd season, played by Clive Russell, his estrangement from Brian and his continued absence from his bastard grandson's life make him practically a stranger to Jamie. Not that Jamie wants his paternal grandfather in his life, especially after Simon proves his low character by refusing to aid the Jacobite cause and insulting Claire to her face despite being cunning enough to earn the nickname the Old Fox. Lovat's decision to side with the British against the Jacobites seals his eventual doom. Unlike Lord Lovat, Blood of My Blood's Brian and Ellen are a passionate love match. They elope against their family's wishes. Ellen specifically defies her brother's intentions to marry her into a politically beneficial but loveless match. Their union remains controversial even after Ellen's pregnancies with William, their firstborn, their daughter Jenny, and of course Jamie. Unlike his late wife, the widowed Brian lives until 1743, years before Claire's surprise arrival in Scotland, witnessing Jack Randall torture Jamie to what Brian believes is Jamie's death causes Brian's own passing from an apoplexy, which might as well be considered death from grief. Brianna, Jamie and Claire's daughter, meets her grandfather in Season 7 thanks to time travel shenanigans. Brianna can't reveal her identity, but he treats her with reserved compassion. That assessment aligns with Jamie's experiences with his father. As for other characters' connections to the original series, Ned Gowan, an associate of Cullum's, becomes a lawyer and defends Claire during her trial in Season 1. Brianna's husband, Roger Mackenzie, unites the rival Mackenzie and Fraser clans even further as a descendant of Dougal's extramarital affair with secret time traveler Jalis Duncan. Outlander Blood of My Blood reveals the surprising truth about Claire Fraser's parents. Comparatively, information is much sparser about Claire's parents. Since the age of 5, Claire has grown up believing Julia and Henry died in a car crash during their Scottish vacation in 1923. Following the tragedy, Claire, the couple's only child, was adopted by her archaeologist uncle Quentin. The rest is a mystery. Blood of My Blood intends to slowly reveal, starting with the fact that the future spouses wrote each other letters during World War I and fell in love before laying eyes upon their soulmate. The biggest shock, however, is their dramatic trip through the same stones their daughter will eventually touch, separated by their time-bending journey. Blood of My Blood's first season chronicles the couple's struggle to reunite, and as they adapt to their new surroundings, Julia encourages Ellen and Brian's secret dalliances. Not only is Blood of My Blood a romance ×2, it's guaranteed to turn even more of our assumptions about the history of Outlander's main couple on their heads from generation to generation. Fate has always tied these families together. Claire and Jamie's love story is destiny in the making, and that match wouldn't have come to fruition without a little touch of magic, literally through whatever creates Cray-Na Dun's ancient power, and metaphorically thanks to the pair's equally loving parents paving the way. Sam Heughan's advice to Outlander spin-off cast revealed as they worried over daunting sex scenes. One of the main things said to me right at the start was just to enjoy every single moment as much as you can. Jamie Roy, who stars in Outlander Blood of My Blood, told the Post, one of the main things said to me right at the start was just to enjoy every single moment as much as you can. Jamie Roy, who stars in Outlander Blood of My Blood, told the Post Outlander Blood of My Blood is a prequel about the dual love stories of Jamie's parents Brian Fraser and Ellen Mackenzie and Claire's parents Julia and Henry Beecham. Heughan isn't an Outlander Blood of My Blood since it shows Jamie's parents falling in love before he was born. Slater and Roy, however, have met the actor who plays their on-screen son at various events promoting the show. Roy revealed that Heughan gave him the advice that there's going to be tough days, but ultimately take a step back and look at what you're doing and how lucky we are to be able to do this sort of thing. He said, "I've taken that with me." The Scottish actor added that Heughan literally was texting me at the premiere, checking in on me, saying, "How are you doing? Are you coping okay?" Roy said that Heughan's messages really means a lot more than I can say to have that kind of support. Slater told the Post that she didn't try to imitate Heughan's mannerisms while playing his on-screen mother, but she and Roy both watched Outlander while shooting Season 1 of Blood in My Blood. The Penrith actress added, "I think I just absorbed the spirit of Jamie Fraser and also of as well, so I didn't try to mimic anything or learn any mannerisms or anything like that. It was more of just a general absorbing of the characters and the core of them." Roy joked that fans have complimented how his performance is similar to Heughan's, but he didn't do it on purpose. "I wish I could take credit. I worked hard, but that wasn't the stuff that I was focusing on, so any little crossovers you see are totally coincidental for the most part." He said that any similarities between the on-screen father and son just speaks to casting's ability to find actors like myself and Harriet who do embody some certain aspects of other actors. Outlander is known for its steamy scenes, and Outlander Blood of My Blood also has plenty. "I'd never done anything of this level before, and it was daunting," said Slater. She added, "But we have a brilliant team of support behind us. We work with an intimacy coordinator who makes sure that we feel safe and confident before we step on set for any kind of those kinds of scenes." Slater explained that there's always a closed set for sex scenes, which means there's as few people as possible, and we rehearse a lot beforehand so that we know exactly what is going to be asked of us on the day it's choreographed. Roy quipped that doing sex scenes keeps you pretty healthy. He added, "Because I'm like, well, I gotta look good, so I don't drink as much booze as I would have, and I eat healthier, so it's a win, I guess." Roy quipped that doing sex scenes keeps you pretty healthy. He added, "Because I'm like, Well, I gotta look good, so I don't drink as much booze as I would have, and I eat healthier, so it's a win, I guess. Star's World of 18th Century Scotland will soon return with the premiere of Outlander Blood of My Blood in the 2025 TV schedule, while at least some of the action will be set in the 20th century, with Claire's parents. A time travel twist will bring them back in time to encounter Jamie's family members. In their own time, fans of the early seasons of Outlander may remember that scenes set in 18th century Scotland can mean a whole lot of warriors wearing kilts, and Blood of My Blood viewers can expect more of the same in the prequel. When I spoke with cast members of the upcoming series, they weighed in on the perks of the garment and reminded me of one thing Sam Heughan didn't like about filming the original series in the kilt. What Sam Heughan said about filming in a kilt. Now, to be clear, Sam Heughan has said far more good things than bad about wearing a kilt to play Jamie Fraser, and shared why he'd missed wearing it after story reasons meant the Scots couldn't wear their traditional tartan for a time. Co-star Duncan LaCroix echoed the sentiment, saying it was incredibly comfortable to wear and quite very practical for battle scenes. That said, Heughan did once share one very specific way that wearing a kilt could be horrible for filming Outlander, telling people, "When you sit down on the wet grass and you forget to do the little flick, it's your bare ass on the ground." Oh, it's horrible. If he had one horrible thing he could name back in 2016 compared to many more great benefits when filming in a kilt, then I'd say Outlander's wardrobe choices were a hit for its leading man. Plus, Heughan literally went on to star in a travel series called Men in Kilts alongside former Outlander co-star Graham McTavish. And that brings me to what the Blood of My Blood actors told me ahead of the upcoming premiere of their prequel series. What the Blood of My Blood cast told me about kilts. I was fortunate enough to speak with the stars of Outlander Blood of My Blood during San Diego Comic-Con, with Hermione Caulfield even sharing how paparazzi almost spoiled the series' big time travel twist. 3 of the actors who will be playing 18th century Highlanders had plenty to say about wearing kilts, and it turns out that they could relate to what Sam Heughan and Duncan LaCroix said years earlier. Sam Retford, who plays the young Dougal Mackenzie, shared it's an extremely practical piece of clothing, especially when you're running around and rolling around. You can hide things in it, you can hide yourself in it, you can sleep in it. It's fantastic. Those perks certainly can't be said about most items of clothing nowadays. Rory Alexander, who plays the younger version of Outlander's fan favorite, picked up where Retford left off. Extremely multi-use. When you see us with the kilt and the plaid with the full thing, that all used to be one piece of cloth, and you could use it as a blanket and a pillow and a bag, so it's a fantastic piece of clothing. The kilt having plenty of fantastic uses doesn't mean that the garment was easy for the actors to master right off the bat, as Sam Retford went on to admit. Even now that the cast is in the midst of filming season 2, thanks to the very early renewal, he isn't yet an expert at donning the tartan. He shared, "It's an odd thing starting the day. I still can't put my kilt on my own, so you have to lie down on the floor of a trailer. You get wrapped up like a burrito every day, like a baby being swaddled, and then you have to go and pretend to be an adult while at work after that," which is tricky. The situation is a bit different for Seamus McLean Ross, who plays the young version of Colin Mackenzie. The Outlander version of the character, played by Gary Lewis, had a shorter tenure as part of the cast than either Dougal or Murtagh, but Outlander also guarantees that Colm can stick around just as long as any of the others. That said, Ross alluded to the condition that often kept Colm off his feet on the original series when he explained the younger version's wardrobe choices, saying, "My character, he wears a kilt in the early parts of the show, but he kind of purposely chooses not to kind of be seen as a more kind of political figure there. Kilt is a kind of more like a fighting man's attire. Colm is forced to be behind the scenes, kind of conducting things politically." These 3 won't be the only ones wearing tartan in the new show, with what seems to be the majority of the scenes set in the 18th century. That, of course, depends on when the time travel twist that brings Julia a couple hundred years back in time takes place, but the trailer offers some clues. Take a look.